Science is the study of nature. So, when we are studying nature, understanding motion is very important. What is motion? When we will say any object or anything will be in motion when we are finding that particular object changes its position. So any object, it changes its position, but we are referencing with respect to time. So an object which changes its position with respect to time, we will call that object is undergoing a motion. So an object under motion can be represented or said to be possessing speed, which is a scalar quantity, or velocity, which is a vector quantity. So as we already understood from the previous episodes, speed is something which represents motion in terms of scalar parameter, meaning it will be having only magnitude, and velocity is something which will be representing motion with magnitude and direction. We will try to understand these two concepts by giving an example, case 1 and case 2. Where in case 1 we have two different positions A and B at certain distance of 5 meter. We should highlight the fact that distance from A to B is a straight line, and the time duration a particular object is taking to change the position from A to B is 10 seconds, meaning t0 is equal to 0 at position A and t is equal to 0 at 10 seconds at position B. So we might have used a stopwatch to understand the time variation. Now take case 2, where the path from A to B is not a straight line, it is bit curved, and we can say that distance from A to B is 25 meter because it is not a straight line. So we have 2 points A and B. In the first case it is a straight line, and in the second case it is not straight, it's a bit bent, and here we should understand what is the difference between speed and velocity. Now taking help of equations, speed is distance divided by time taken to cover the distance or travel the distance, and velocity is displacement occurred divided by the time taken for that displacement. Now we can consider those two cases, case 1 and case 2 separately, and we can apply these two equations. For case 1, distance covered is 5 meter divided by the time taken for the distance is 10 seconds. So 5 meter divided by 10 seconds, that will give 0.5 meter per second, which is the magnitude, and for the speed we need only the magnitude, 0.5 meter per second. Now when it comes to velocity, it is displacement divided by time. So displacement happened is again same as distance covered for the case 1, that is 5 divided by 10 meter. So it will be like 0.5 meter per second, but we have to add the direction also from A to B. So that makes it a vector. So velocity is a vector. We need both magnitude and direction. 0.5 meter per second and A to B is the direction. Now take the case 2. Here speed is equal to the distance traveled, which is 25 meter along all those curves and bends, 25 meter divided by the time taken to travel through the distance is 25 seconds. So we have to write 25 divided by 25, that will give 1 meter per second. Now when it comes to velocity, velocity is the displacement happened and the time taken for the displacement. So it is 5 meter, that is a straight shortest distance, that's what's called as displacement, divided by 25 second. So it will give 0.2 meter per second, and the direction will be from A to B. Now comparing the result, for case 1, speed is equal to 0.5 meter per second and velocity is also is equal to 0.5 meter per second, but we have to mention it along with its direction. When it comes to speed, for the case 2, it is 1 meter per second because we are considering 25 meter the full distance, but velocity is only 5 divided by 25, that is 0.2 meter per second, along with its direction from A to B. Now, as we are concluding on today's topic on motion we understood as its change in position, and we are measuring it, recording it against time. We understood speed and velocity, which is just a scalar and vector quantities. We tried to understand what is the difference between scalar and vector parameter with respect to speed and velocity by taking two examples in case 1 and case 2, and numerically we tried to solve and understand what is the difference. Thank you for watching.